Have you ever noticed how some people command respect without saying much at all? They walk into rooms and conversations shift. They speak softly, yet everyone listens. They never chase attention, but somehow they always seem to have it. What makes these individuals so magnetically respected isn't their volume or their drama. It's something far more powerful. It's their silence. Today we're diving deep into 7 silent habits that separate highly respected people from everyone else. These aren't flashy behaviors. They're not Instagram-worthy moments. They're quiet patterns that reshape how the world sees you and how you see yourself. Small shifts in how you carry yourself that create massive changes in how others respond to you. Before we begin, let me tell you why this matters more than you think. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, the people who master the art of strategic silence hold all the cards. They influence without force. They lead without titles. They earn trust without begging for it. And once you understand how they do it, you'll never look at human interaction the same way again. The first silent habit that sets respected people apart is their ability to pause before they speak. While most people react instantly to everything around them, respected individuals create space between what happens and how they respond. This isn't hesitation, it's intelligence in action. Think about the last time someone said something that triggered you. What did you do? Most people fire back immediately, defending themselves or attacking in return. But highly respected people do something completely different. They breathe. They observe. They let the moment settle before they choose their response. This pause serves multiple purposes. It prevents them from saying things they'll regret later. It allows them to read the room and understand what's really happening beneath the surface. Most importantly, it signals to everyone watching that this person thinks before they act. That quality alone commands respect. Psychology shows us that our first reaction is rarely our best reaction. It's usually driven by emotion, not wisdom. When you train yourself to pause, even for just 2 seconds, you access a different part of your brain, the part that thinks strategically rather than defensively, the part that builds bridges instead of burning them. The second habit that respected people master is the art of saying less while meaning more. They understand that words lose power when they're overused. Instead of filling every silence with chatter, they choose their moments to speak with surgical precision. This doesn't mean they're antisocial or cold. It means they value their words enough to use them intentionally. When they do speak, people listen because they know it will be worth hearing. They've trained themselves to think before they verbalize every thought that crosses their mind. Most people talk to fill space or to process their thoughts out loud. Respected individuals process internally and share only what adds value to the conversation. They ask themselves a simple question before speaking. Does this need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said right now? This filtering system naturally elevates the quality of their communication. People start to associate their voice with insight rather than noise. They become someone others seek out for wisdom, rather than someone others try to avoid because they talk too much. The third silent habit involves how they handle disagreement and conflict. Instead of getting louder when tensions rise, respected people often get quieter. They understand that volume doesn't equal validity, and that the person who stays calm usually wins the long game. When someone challenges them or becomes aggressive, they don't match that energy. They lower their voice, they slow down their speech, they maintain steady eye contact without staring. This response is so unexpected that it often diffuses the entire situation. This calm response isn't about being weak or passive. It's about being strategic. They know that engaging in emotional warfare rarely produces anything useful. Instead, they choose to respond from a place of strength rather than react from a place of trigger. The fourth habit that sets them apart is how they listen. True listening is becoming a lost art in our distracted world. Most people listen just long enough to formulate their response. They're waiting for their turn to talk rather than truly absorbing what's being shared. Respected people listen with their entire attention. They put down their phones, they make eye contact, they ask follow-up questions that show they were actually processing what was said. This level of attention is so rare that people feel genuinely heard when they experience it. This type of listening creates deep connection and trust. People feel valued when someone gives them complete attention. They start to see this person as someone who cares about understanding, rather than just being understood. The psychological impact of feeling truly heard cannot be overstated. It makes people want to return to that person again and again. It builds loyalty and respect in ways that talking never could. Never could. The fifth silent habit revolves around how they handle their own emotions in public spaces. While others broadcast every feeling they experience, respected people maintain emotional composure even during difficult moments. This doesn't mean they suppress their feelings or pretend everything is perfect. It means they choose when and where to express their emotions thoughtfully. They understand that emotional regulation is a superpower in human relationships. When chaos surrounds them, they become the calm center that others gravitate toward. People naturally look to them for stability because they've proven they won't crumble under pressure or add fuel to already burning fires. This emotional steadiness comes from deep self-awareness. They know their triggers, they recognize their patterns, and they've developed strategies to manage their internal state before it affects their external behavior. They might feel frustrated, disappointed, or angry, but they don't let those emotions dictate their actions in the moment. When they do need to express difficult emotions, they do it privately with trusted people or in appropriate settings. They don't use their feelings as weapons or as ways to manipulate situations. Their emotional intelligence becomes a foundation for respect because people know they can depend on them to stay grounded when it matters most. The sixth habit that distinguishes respected individuals is their relationship with personal boundaries. They don't announce their limits loudly or defensively. Instead, they quietly and consistently enforce them through their actions. They say no without lengthy explanations or apologies. They protect their time and energy without making others feel guilty about it. This boundary setting isn't harsh or rigid, it's clear and kind. They understand that boundaries aren't walls built to keep people out, they're guidelines that help relationships function healthily. By maintaining these limits consistently, they teach others how to treat them with respect. Most people struggle with boundaries because they fear conflict or rejection. Respected people have learned that unclear boundaries create more problems than clear ones ever could. They'd rather have honest relationships based on mutual respect than complicated ones built on resentment and misunderstanding. Their boundary setting becomes a form of self-respect that others naturally mirror. When you consistently show that you value your own time and energy, others begin to value it too. This creates a positive cycle where respect grows organically rather than being demanded or forced. The seventh and final silent habit involves how they handle recognition and praise. When complimented or acknowledged, they don't deflect or minimize their achievements, but they also don't boast or seek additional validation. They simply accept acknowledgement gracefully and redirect attention back to the work or the team effort involved. This balanced response to praise demonstrates genuine confidence. They don't need external validation to feel good about themselves, but they can receive it without false modesty. This authentic relationship with recognition makes people trust their success and want to support their future endeavors. They also share credit generously when appropriate. They highlight team members who contributed to achievements. They acknowledge mentors who guided them. They recognize circumstances that supported their success. This generosity of spirit makes others want to work with them and support their goals. These 7 silent habits work together to create a presence that commands respect, naturally. The pause before speaking, the intentional use of words, the calm response to conflict, the quality of listening, the emotional regulation, the clear boundaries and the graceful handling of recognition all combine to form a personality that others admire and trust. What makes these habits so powerful is their subtlety. They don't require dramatic changes or aggressive self-promotion. They're quiet adjustments in how you show up in the world that compound over time to create profound shifts in how others perceive and respond to you. The beauty of these patterns is that anyone can develop them. They don't require special talents or perfect circumstances. They simply require awareness, practice, and the patience to let respect build naturally through consistent behavior rather than demanding it through force or manipulation. Respect isn't something you demand or chase. It's something you earn through the quiet choices you make every single day. These 7 silent habits don't promise instant transformation or overnight success. They offer something far more valuable. They offer a path to becoming someone others naturally want to follow, trust, and be around. The person who pauses before speaking, chooses words carefully, stays calm under pressure, listens deeply, manages emotions wisely, maintains clear boundaries and handles recognition, gracefully becomes magnetic without trying to be. They influence through presence rather than pressure. They lead through example rather than force. Start with one habit. Master the pause. Practice saying less. Work on staying calm when others lose control. Choose listening over waiting to speak. Each small change ripples outward, shifting how people see you and how you see yourself. Remember, in a world full of noise, silence becomes the most powerful sound. In a culture obsessed with being heard, being understood becomes the greatest skill. These habits don't just change how others respect you, they change how you respect yourself. And that transformation changes everything.